We were asked by a major branded active fashion house to come in and build them a marketing academy. Because they had no marketing training, they decided they were too retailer focused, too distributor focused, and wanted to bring more of the consumer into what they did. We went in and had a look, and actually the big problem we found was they were too siloed. So they typically ended up with the product distributed into the wholesale trade, didn't really take the consumer lens in their thinking, and didn't really have a clear sense of what each function was doing in service of the consumer. So the problem as we saw it was to bring more consumer-centric thinking into the business, give them a common language, try and unlock better cross-functional working and break down some of those silos. It's quite a complex industry, so typically we'd work with a branded manufacturer where the brand is the thing. Actually, in that business, there was R&D, there was product design, there was merchandising, there was shopper, there were a whole load of functions involved, and they were all operating slightly independently and sort of handing things over to each other rather than working together. So we flipped the brief. We decided actually the best solution for that client was not a marketing academy per se, but a way of building brands cross-functionally with the consumer at the heart, so that everybody knew what role they were playing and could really serve those consumer needs. Typically, a marketing capability framework would break down what you need to do in a marketing sense, step by step. We looked at that in a different way and put experience at the heart of it and developed an actionable, simple, cross-functional framework where every team could very easily take the perspective of a consumer or shopper, develop the experience from multiple perspectives, think about their role in it, think about what they could do as a result, and then use that to feed the decisions in a more typical marketing framework. And that meant it lived in the business, it served their current planning process, so we didn't need to change that, and it gave every function a real clear role and way of inputting into some of those really important consumer decisions. What impact did we have? I think for me, one of the most revealing things was someone from what you might term a downstream function coming up to us at the end of a workshop and saying, that's great, I can now clearly see the impact I have on the consumer when my role fits, and I can feed into how we shape the brand accordingly. I think the main thing we've done is create a common language. So we have what is a matrixed organisation talking across functions, talking across brands in a very similar way. And the other thing I think we've given them is focus. So with every brand, with a clear 3 or 4 focus areas based around a genuine consumer need, with clear strategies, actions, next steps, measures aligned to those, giving everybody a real clear sense of what they're there to do, without all the fluff that kind of goes on around it. So I think common language, focus, but really importantly, getting those teams absolutely clear on what their role is in the consumer. So what did Oxford bring to the process? Well, I think fundamentally what we're great at is simplifying and integrating. So we brought them a very simple, actionable framework. We integrated it into the way they think and work already, so it very much felt part of what they already do. We also have the ability, I think, to bring a bit of strategic and insightful rigour into things, so we can help them stand back from the noise you get internally within an organisation and really focus on what matters. And then finally, we were able to corral and focus a large group of people and functions through what's quite a complicated exercise to a very simple, clear output with some next steps that they can go away and do themselves in-house and just to make it part of what their day-to-day action plan is.